There it is. Anyway, we are on King's Row. This is Splyce versus Luminosity Gaming, what you've all been waiting for today, kind of the matchup we foresaw when the brackets came out. Here we go. On defense first, it is going to be Splyce. Pure will be on a Mercy, not a Lucio, thank goodness. Flame will be on Zarya. Papa Smurf is going to be playing Reinhardt. Steel on a defensive Reaper. Kozin, been untouchable today on a Soldier 76. And Clockwork bringing back the McCree.
Yep, Clockwork being the new McCree specialist, saying this cowboy is not done yet despite the nerfs. Meanwhile, though, looking at the offense coming out from the side of LG, it's going to be Seagull on the Pharah, Pooks on the Junkrat, Esper on Mercy, Gods on the 76, Enigma on the Diva, and Milo going to be going on to the Reinhardt. Don't let him fool you. What he's doing here, this isn't trolling or joking around all the rest. He's going to throw a Sonic Arrow so they have an idea of what team comp they're going up against. And if they see something they don't like, they have the opportunity to change before they go out. It's pretty smart on King's Row. Or, now that I said that, he's not even going to do that. He's just going to go straight in the Reinhardt. Thank you, Milo. But that is something that does happen from time to time.
Yeah, the Sonic Arrow strategy is totally viable. Get some eyes, get some vision on the team, and then you just switch off right away. It costs you nothing. I actually really endorse it. Not surprised they don't want to do it.
Alright, so LG moving out. Milo leading the way. And this is where you'll see that this is the Pharah spot where Seagull is right now. Every Pharah lands right here. This is where Pharah's like jumping to, like getting a little bit of poke as their team looks for an opportunity. I'm getting a note, by the way. Enigma did not go with the Diva. He went with the Mei instead. So Mei having a grand appearance here, fighting out Steel. Steel gonna have to run away from Mei. As LG right now taking it slow, looking for an opportunity. Mei, though, going to go down. Steel with 2 picks here already. And LG having a little bit of trouble getting through his Clockwork, going to shoot Seagull right in the head.
Yeah, that's going to end that push pretty early on as Esper and Seagull are dead. Can't do much without your combo in the air. Yeah, it's really nice work by Clockwork.
All right, both teams getting into it again as LG looking for a slightly better offensive push here. Note that Pooks does have a tire. He might be throwing that out any moment now if LG gets a little bit more of an opening. They are starting to push Splyce back a bit. Splyce not wanting to lose anyone. Both teams really fighting for this all-important first kill. Poke is paramount. I think we're going to see here from Pooks. Pooks is going to wait till the fight develops a little bit more, and then he's going to go for the tires. Seagull in the back line was able to take out Kozin in a death pact as they both killed each other. So 5v5 for both teams here. Seagull will be able to get back a little bit before Kozin, however.
Yeah, actually he got kind of lucky there as Esper was caught out in no man's land after that engagement, was able to fly away. He was in a really rough spot early on, but this is a very prolonged battle. I think it's going to come down to who ends up having to use a resurrection first.
No, absolutely. And the other thing here for Steel is that Steel is setting up for a Death Blossom here in just a moment. And this is something that LG has to be really careful of. LG is looking for the opportunity in, but if they're not careful, Seagull could just end it with one press of Q. Milo now sort of out on his own, has to be careful. Steel is going for that, but here comes the tire from Pooks. Will this get the value? Meanwhile, Seagull on the barrage doesn't quite kill anyone with it. 2 kills though for LG anyways, as LG with the res moving in. Steel coming in though with the Death Blossom, gonna take out 2. Does get a little bit of value there, and on the point, Papa Smurf still hanging onto an Earth Shatter. As the defense is really doing pretty well here for Splyce.
Yeah, no, I mean, they had to resurrect too, and then the Mercy got the shield afterwards, was able to follow them, the Reaper in on Steel and Reaper, and he was able to take down the opposing Mercy, so they weren't able to resurrect at the same time. Now the res are going to be equal again, because Pure almost is already charged up.
Milo right now moving in, looking for the Earth Shatter. Will land the Earth Shatter, knocks 2 down, setting them up. The offense getting right in. The Mercy having to blow the Resurrection right away in response to that. But Clockwork and Kozin coming right back as Enigma going to fall. So LG fully wiped out. There's the team wipe horn, and LG having way more problems on point A here than I was ever expecting.
I am empowered.
I mean, it's just really nice holds. They had to use Resurrection first, but they used it in an extremely valuable way, able to get more Resurrections out, and yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised at how strong this hold is going for.
Seagull now moving in, looking for his opportunity, going to get on the 76 in the back, bouncing him around a little bit. Enigma takes out Papa Smurf while this is going on. Will Seagull complete this kill? Kozin will go down. 3 kills now for the side of LG. Enigma really coming in the clutch on the 76, and Flame just getting pushed back. Will get taken out. 2 kills for Seagull, 2 for Enigma, and LG might be cracking the code here. It's getting close, but there's the Earth Shatter coming down from Milo, going to send Papa Smurf to his death, and this should be it.
Yeah, they finally got Seagull in the position that he wanted to be in, over the top and kind of causing chaos and discoordination on the defense. He tried to get there early on. Clockwork had knocked him out of the sky, as well as Kozen earlier, getting them into the back lines where they wanted to be just from the get-go. Actually opened up that defense, able to clean it up, and that is a pretty solid first hold, though. A little surprised that Splyce was able to hold that long.
Well, we do have a Widowmaker setting right now. God's bringing up the Widow. We saw Gods do a lot of really good Widow work in the last weekly. Widow, of course, has been nerfed since then. We see a little bit less of her. Widow having to go for headshots above all else, where she's just not as effective. But decent poke being made by Gods here as LG sets up for the next offensive push.
Yeah, I mean, I still like running an offensive Widow here. Just look what it does to the defense. They're not allowed to be in the position they want to be. It wins them pretty much this first corner of the streets for free.
One thing of note here, though, Steel is biding his time, waiting for an opportunity to come in as Reaper, and now he's going around the flank. And it's going to take him a little bit to get here, but he is going to be looking for this flanking Death Blossom. As the offense now getting pushed a little bit back, the speed boost is out, Papa Smurf rushing in, and now Steel was taken out in the back. He was not able to get that Death Blossom down, and now Seagull's coming to fight. He barrages out the right, and this could absolutely turn in LG's favor with the right barrage. He's moving forward. Here comes the barrage, gets the double kill. And just like that, LG opening the way. Nothing too flashy, but a barrage, just what the doctor ordered.
Well, making up some time on this map in the street space for sure. Generally, that's where we used to see teams get bogged down, but they needed to make up some good time after the stronghold on the first point. I think the defense is going to be able to put one last fight up here and not give up the second point for free.
Steel is going in. He just might be going for the YOLO Death Blossom here. Gets right on top of the point. Getting healed by Mercy. Hanging on to Death Blossom. Not using it just yet. As LG now moving in off the Sound Bearer. Getting 4 kills. Gods on the double kill. In fact, Widowmaker coming in big. Groton coming out from the defense, but might be too little too late. Steel does not get much off of that Death Blossom. Defense still in and around here, but Gods looking for kills. Has one shot in the Clockwork. Looking for another Clockwork. Juking it with that 80-80 strafing. But in the end, LG is going to get this checkpoint. The spawn points will move forward, and LG making up for some lost time on the streets phase.
Yeah, really nice push in there as Enigma continues to clean up. Those are staggered deaths by Kozen and Clockwork that you really can't afford right there. Gods has been absolutely unopposed. They haven't even tried to answer Gods. Enigma gets another couple late kills on Pure and Steel as well. They are just bleeding right now.
Enigma was able to get in there, got the double kill, was able to push things forward. LG with all the momentum on their side. Seagull about to have the barrage up and ready. Defensively, it's not all lost. They do have an Earth Shatter for Papa Smurf. Papa, of course, having those big Papa moments earlier in the series, or earlier today in general. But here comes Seagull going sneakily in the hole, over behind the back. And here comes the barrage right on top of Bastion. Steel getting deleted, Pure getting deleted, and Reinhardt getting damaged very heavily before Flame coming in on the Genji.
Taking down Pure is super important because as you see, Esper comes in, brings his team back to full force. Gods remains unopposed, able to pick up a couple kills of his own. Really smart and patient play by Seagull on the backside there, taking out the Bastion and the Mercy. Prime targets. Gods continues to clean up.
Yeah, and even though the Widow streaks are a little bit less frequent, Gods had moments in this game where he was able to get 2-3 kills in one go, and Widow still has that power when played properly. It just requires a bigger focus on landing headshots.
Well, it's also now you don't really have to worry about counter sniping. The other team's not running it as consistently, and they didn't have any answer for him at all.
So LG had a pretty good recovery there. I think the beginning was a little bit rough for them. They weren't expecting the Splyce defense to give them as much troubles as it did. But saying a time of 7:01 here on the attack, it's not a quick King's Road time, but it's also a defensible King's Road time. I think, all things considered, it could be much, much worse for LG given how point A went, and LG is going to give it right back to Splyce on their defense. Their defense is very good. Junkrat play, of course, coming out from Seagull in the hotel can be absolutely smothering, so we'll see how things work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's kind of strange to see LG get as much value out of their Widow play as that it was a point where they struggle on it for so long, and now Widow gets nerfed, and they have one of their best matches centered around a Widow play. early on, it was just Clockwork taking out the Pharah and Mercy combo that really slowed them down. Once they were able to get that in and get some value out of it, everything just rolled from there. And then just late on, Splyce was just kind of bleeding and staggering kills, which is something you can't afford to do. Never got their footing under him. And then Seagull with a really nice play towards the end. He was super patient with him as he wanted to drop it. Sound Barrier came down, waited for that to fade, took out the 2 prime targets in a Bastion and a Mercy. So just nice play overall. A beatable time, but I think LG is going to put up a decent defense here. To that end, their roster on defense is going to be Pooks on Symmetra. Esper will be playing Mercy, Milo on Reinhardt. Seagull will be on that Junkrat. Enigma will play the other part of that gang on Roadhog, and Gods will round it out on Soldier 76.
Take a look here at the Splyce side of things as they set up. It's going to be Flame on the Zarya, Steel on the Pharah, Clockwork on McCree, Pure on the Winston, Kozin on Mercy, and Papa Smurf on the Reinhardt. So pretty standard stuff coming out from the side of Splyce. We see Pharah a lot, we see Zarya a lot. And I gotta say, Flame has had some really good Zarya plays today, so going to be interesting to see what that does against the defense of LG. And LG, I would expect their defense to come out pretty strong here, especially after what happened in the last round.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be up to Pure. What we've seen so far from Splyce is kind of a newish team. Their strategy has been to try to really get in a place, get their pieces in position for a chess move, and then all leap at the same time. It's based off Pure's leap on Winston. Now, we've seen teams try to disrupt that by taking the fight to him. It'll be interesting to see how this aggressive composition faces against a pretty standard defense here.
And again, one of the problems here dealing Junkrat on King's Row is that if you ignore the Junkrat, he's going to flank your team as you move in and kill everyone. If you go after the Junkrat, he has a lot of good defensive cover in this hotel. So Junkrat, this is one of his best positions in the entire game, and it can cause real issues for teams as they try and move forward. And Steel right now tried to get through on the ground floor, meets Milo's Fire Strike instead, is immediately taken out. And the offensive Splyce, I mean, they just need to back up a little bit and wait for Steel to get back in, because going in without Steel here is going to be pretty difficult.
That's brutal for so many reasons. Milo now already near 50% on his Earth Shattered. I mean, by comparison, Papa Smurf without hitting that is at 25%. So not only does it kill Steel and slow down the push, it really just feeds Milo.
Splyce now getting a little bit more aggro here. Steel is back up and in, but he gets taken out by Gods in the back. Gods just setting up a picnic here, 76 way in the back. Doesn't have to worry about a Widow picking him off. In fact, I don't think Gods has to worry about much of anything right now, short of maybe Steel rushing out for Lucio, but it doesn't really seem like Splyce likes doing that, so Gods really with his pick of everything at the moment.
I mean, it kind of comes down to the point of what do you want to focus on to take away from LG at this point? Is Gods the problem that you have to go deal with up top? Do you have to deal with someone else? You have to deal with Seagull at some point. You have to deal with it all, but you have to choose one. Right now, they're not dealing with anything.
We had a stealth Winston in the back trying to deal with Gods. Gods really didn't care, just took him out, headshot him to death. And this is just problematic. They have Seagull in the hotel, you have Gods in the back. If you focus on Seagull, Gods is going to kill you. If you focus on Gods, Seagull is going to kill you. And it's one of those things where they need a more decisive engage, but thus far, Splyce seems a little bit mystified in dealing with this LG defense.
Got you in my sights.
Yeah, Pure finally comes in, gets some disruption in the back line. Steel is taken out again by Gods. Pure gets cleaned up for all his efforts. Papa misses his Earth Shattered, dies for it.
We do have the Resurrection coming out here from the offense as they try and keep things going. God's already used Attack Visor, but this has just been brutal. Seagull just had a double kill Tyra a second ago. Is helping regulate with the help of Gods here. And really, again, I just think the offense has not been able to penetrate deep enough into the LG side to do what they need to do. And LG is just sort of getting everything they want here. And now, even though the attack from LG wasn't the greatest, I'm not really convinced that Splyce has what it takes to get through point A of LG right now.
No, not at all. I was just going to say that I don't think the Winston's working out here at all because the distance is just too far. You can't leap onto Gods. You can't do anything in that room with Junkrat in there. So Pure does come up, switches it to a Zenyatta. Steel now on the offensive Reaper too. At least they're trying to make some changes. Only about 4 minutes, little over 4 minutes to complete the entire map.
All right, well, Pook's able to take out Kozin with the orb. That is not what you want for an offense. With no mercy up, they're not going to be able to resurrection or get a res up. It's going to be all sorts of bad. They have to back up again, and LG just bought themselves another 20 to 30 seconds here. And you look at all the ults are up for LG. They have so many options available to deal with this next push coming up from Splyce.
Yeah, something has to change here. They have to be able to start getting picks and then maybe just prioritize Esper, but Esper's playing so far back.
Seagull right now doing whatever he wants here in the back, able to take out Steel, looking for more. Pure going to go down. And Seagull, he doesn't even need to use the tire right now. There's already 2 down in the offense. Why use it right now? Wait for them to group up a little bit more and use it a bit after. And really for the offense, their last gasp is going to be something to do with Transcendence and Graviton Surge. They're probably going to have to blow both at the same time, hope to get a few kills, and really they need to take Esper out immediately. Otherwise, Esper will just undo all the damage that they do end up doing.
Yeah, they're going to try to push through this room and deal with the Junkrat problem.
Flame got in, got the 3-person Graviton. Here they go. Will they be able to get the follow-up? But just really Flame being his own follow-up, he's going to go down. Did take out Esper, so mission accomplished, I guess, in that regard. But overall, LG holding very firmly against this. And really, Splyce not getting a whole lot done.
Yeah, the push was super split. They sent 2 into the backside, got their Graviton over there. Because of that, they had no follow-up. The other 4 were up front, but they got Earthshatter down, could not come around to follow that up. I mean, I'm not sure that I love splitting up your group into squads right there. Neither really got anything done.
All right, well, Steel right now does have Death Blossom on and ready, and he's going to have to get something huge off this. I'm not sure if LG is positioned to where he can actually get anything huge off this Death Blossom, but with between him and Papa Smurf, it's their only chance of actually cracking this point as they go forward. Death Blossom is going to come out from Steel, will take out Esper, takes out the tire as well, will go down before doing much else, and LG still pretty confident as they hold here. God's still in the back doing whatever he wants. And now 3 seconds remaining, Splyce not with much time, and even if they did get kept this here, for the overall time, I don't think they would have been able to bring it to the end.
Nope, that is a pretty strong defense from LG. I think they changed up their strategy a little too late. I'm actually not certain about Pure strategy. They're switching to Zenyatta either.
Enigma wondering how Hook works. A lot of people wonder that when they get hit by Hook. Hook has a surprisingly long range and almost magnetic attraction to people at times, hitbox-wise.
Never die.
To the point where both teams are agreeing about it in chat right now. But really good defense coming out from LG, going to go up 1-0 over Splyce. And we'll see where Splyce brings us to next, but LG fans have a lot to be thankful for here. LG coming in strong and def 1 map away now from getting back to the grand finals.
Yeah, LG looks very good, and I've said it time and time again, the teams that look good on defense are the teams that I think win brackets, win tournaments, win championships to that extent. IDDQD did it always on defense, especially on Kings Row. That defense right there looked unbreakable. You'd have to figure out an answer to a Junkrat or Gods on a 76. They figured out an answer to neither. So the defense looked great there. We'll be going to Hollywood and see if they can repeat that defensive performance and move on to the grand finals.
Going from Kings Row to Hollywood? Surely you jest.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what we do here in Overwatch. So if you're a fan of Route 66, you need to be rooting for Splyce to win this map, so we're forced into a 3rd map, which will take place on Route 66. If you don't like variety, then I guess root for Luminosity Gaming. I want to see a different map. I feel like we've been on Kings Row and Hollywood all day.
We have been on Kings Row and Hollywood all day. We get bright, cheery Hollywood, then dreary Kings Row over and over again. But that's just how comp is right now. It's a thing. We'll probably continue to be that way, at least for a little while, until new maps or until teams have some sort of shift in how they want to perceive the meta.
Yeah, I mean...
Pure saying, Hollywood, please trying to watch LeBron lose another finals. Wow.
Yeah.
Someone's a Curry fan.
Well, the thing about Hollywood and Kings Row, and like they're excellent maps, don't get us wrong. We just see them a lot. There's a reason that they're played constantly. And they're excellent maps just because they really showcase what Overwatch is all about. The transitions from one kind of fight to another, I think, are highlighted so highly on these hybrid payload maps where you capture a point and then you really can't run the exact same composition all the way through the same map. You have to transition, have to switch rosters, have to switch compositions. So they're really great to showcase what Overwatch is all about and what the highest level of play are. It's just that they're played all the time. It's getting a little fatigue.
Defending the city of Cleveland here, I just had to weigh in my 2 cents. I said, Pure, let Cleveland have something, please. They are a tortured city. It's been so long since any major professional sports team won anything out of Cleveland. If the Cavs are the win, I mean, that's at least something.
You've seen the guy screaming at the football stadium, calling it a factory of sadness. Yeah. That's pretty great.
I thought that's what Jets fans went through every season.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're the one team that has the butt fumble, what more can you actually say? And by the way, that's something great to Google. Check that out. Can't show it on stream, but definitely pretty hilarious. But either way, getting into the game, on the defense coming up from the side of Splyce, it is going to be Kozen on the 76, Flame on the Reaper, Pure on Mercy, Steel on the Roadhog, Clockwork on McCree, and Papa Smurf, again, going to be on Reinhardt.
All right, on offense, it looks like, well, they're still kind of doing some stuff because I really don't think Gods is going to play Torb. Seems like a waste of his abilities. I am pretty certain that Esper will be on that Mercy. I think Seagull is going to stay on this Pharah. Pooks is going to play Lucio. Milo will be on Reinhardt. Enigma is going to flex onto Zarya, and Gods, yes he does, come back up on the offensive Widowmaker.
Now this should be exciting to see from Gods. I want to see Gods push this through as Widow. Will Gods be the beacon that causes everyone to bring Widow back into the meta after her seemingly quick exit with the nerf? We'll have to see, but LG right now moving forward. And if Gods is able to get a pick, LG will be really aggressive and they will take the opportunity. Grapple shot on the way. Will he get the Mercy? No. Mercy able to get away from that, looking for the 76. Not getting that quite yet either. Widowmaker, once the villain, perhaps now the hero, as people want to see Widow do something. Or maybe they're saying, what are you saying? We saw Widow dominate everything for so long, but here we go. The offense getting in. Seagull was able to take out Flame. 2 quick picks here for the side of LG, and now they can be very aggressive moving in. Seagull has 76 in his sights. Role reversal underway. 76 now having to run for his life. Going to get taken out in the end. And Steel, one of the last people remaining here for the defense. There was a res that came out, but...
Well, Esper's still alive. He's been back with Seagull the entire time. He gets the res off, pays for his life for it as Steel hits another really nice hook that should end this offense, but they're still in here.
That was Caster's Curse 101 Hex. Esper is still alive. 2 seconds later, gets hooked and is down. But the defense is able to turn this in their favor. I'm a little bit surprised given how well that started for LG. LG was not able to maintain the momentum, and in part off those hooks by Steel, the defense does stabilize.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised they allowed Seagull and Esper to get over to the side. Someone's got to stop them before they can really just change the scope of the battlefield over there.
All right, so Enigma moving in, does have a Graviton Surge at the ready. Will pull people in. Seagull to fall up over the top. Justice reigns from above as Seagull gets the triple kill off of that Graviton follow-up. And LG, if they didn't get the point before, they will certainly get it now.
Okay, well, let's see what transitions come out here from defense, because that is over. First point is done. It lived a good life. Deal with it. It's gone. Now Steel does switch on to a Winston now for the second point. Flame dies really late, which is pretty rough for them as he almost had Death Blossom ready. Steel's the only one able to take this rooftop. Seagull already putting some pressure on.
No, LG, they had a little bit of a rough start to start out with, but they were able to recover. Got a very good second push in, and Splyce now having a little bit of trouble reestablishing here in the streets phase.
Yeah, nice concussion knocks Papa Smurf off the roof. He's got to take the long elevator ride up, and they're just really unable to kind of set their defense yet with that nice concussion blast from Seagull.
Clearing the area.
Seagull right now will eat a little bit of poke, but McCree not the greatest at taking out Pharah from that long range. Fall off really becoming a huge problem. And Clockwork needs to get some elevation here, but doesn't really have the opportunity with how the offense is positioning. He can't directly go in the elevator. Seagull will just knock him right off. And the defense just looking for a way of attacking this LG offense as they just move forward.
Yeah, Steel is going to dive in, and this time he does not have the Mercy with him, which is something a lot of people have been doing with their Winston to keep him alive. Wow, Seagull says, I don't like this
the
medic in
barrage coming in
particular.
from Seagull with the follow-up from Gods. 3 kills overall. LG now starting to turn the streets face in their favor, and really, you look at the defense of Splyce. Splyce didn't really seem like they had a great look for that. They sort of looked a little bit confused. They didn't get good positioning, and LG just did whatever they wanted in that last fight, and this is pretty serene for LG as they just roll right to this checkpoint.
Yeah, Splyce was all over the place. Clockwork was kind of just freelancing on the side. No one was with him. He wasn't hitting any shots, and even the ones he was hitting on Seagull were being negated by Esper in the pocket. The tanks never really got up together. When they did jump in, Steel just got eliminated as he went 1v3 as a Winston. So now they have a chance to try to restabilize back here. Kozen comes up on a Genji, which is an interesting call.
Defensive Genji in this last point Hollywood I think is pretty good. So is defensive Pharah for that matter. I don't think it's the worst look. It's points where people get really grouped up. Dragon Blade can cleave multiple people in one go. Flame right now definitely playing a little bit of risk here, but he gets the stick on the Mercy. Esper going to blow up, and now Flame getting to back looking for an extra pickoff. With no Mercy, the defense can be very aggressive, and that is exactly what they're doing. They're getting into this LG offense, but LG with the sound barrier fighting right back. Gods and Enigma turning the tables, and Seagull, 26 HP, still fighting. As LG now able to turn that in their favor despite a very good pick from Flame.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting aggressive there, because of course if you lose everyone, you're just going to be able to res and bring it back, but they didn't really even lose people, they didn't get enough kills, so they didn't do much with that aggressive turn, and now they're in a big fight.
Barrage is at the ready here for Seagull. He's moving to the back line. He's looking to rain justice from above. Notes that there is a Bastion in the back here. Will be able to take him out. Bastion getting rezzed immediately. Bad timing on the kill, unfortunately. Winston now getting on Seagull. Seagull without any support will be going down. Good res coming out from the defenses. Papa Smurf laying down the hammer, knocking down 3 and setting up Clockwork for the double kill.
A really nice defensive res there, kept them alive. Everyone is up and healthy. Some nice ultimates to work with here on defense as well, as Steel and Clockwork have their ults up. Offensively, though, Gods and Seagull have some very offensive ultimates going here. Really, it's going to depend on this next barrage coming down, so they can get some work done.
All right, Deadeye coming out from Clockwork here, putting the offense a little bit further back. He's going to have to cancel this in all likelihood. We'll maintain a little bit, but note, Seagull does still have his ultimate, and now if Flame goes down to the back, this is going to be a 6v5 for LG. This is where defensive trace with that far back is a bit of a risk in these high-level team games. And now Pure, not wasting any time, moving in on the Winston. See if this works out. The offense now moving in. Seagull still waiting for his opportunity. The barrage will be fighting Clockwork directly. Clockwork getting juggled, and he will take out Seagull before going down himself.
As Bastion is just kind of untouched in the back, just kind of poking away, takes a fire strike, no problems, got self-heal. Gods is getting a little bit of work done, though. He's able to take out Clockwork and Flame. Most of the DPS down, goes down on Kozen, there he goes.
That was a good hook coming out here. Seagull regang onto the fight in just a moment. Will be able to take out Steel. Enigma whole hogging in the back, has a double kill. Gods with the follow-up. Barrage is not even going to be needed for LG to win this fight. And there it is. LG will cap it out. Not the quickest time, but still respectable, still defendable. And given what we saw in King's Row, I'm not convinced Splyce is going to be able to easily crack LG's first point defense.
Play of the game.
No, it doesn't appear so. This might be Earthshadow killing 2 tanks towards the end. Milo had some really nice plays. Yeah.
Helden sterben nicht.
So 620 is the time here between both teams. That is beatable on Hollywood, but it's, I don't know. I mean, for Splyce, they're going to have to move very quickly. I think if Splyce gets stalled out at all on the first point, I don't see them beating this time. LG's defense is usually pretty good, and while they have been sort of shocked from time to time in the past, I don't think it's going to happen today.
Well, I'm rooting for Splyce because I want to go to Route 66, but I tend to agree with you. You're probably right. Their defense from Luminosity has looked very good on King's Row, and in Hollywood, somewhat similar in those King's Row defenses. You can run a very similar comp and feel comfortable with it. You can run that defensive Junkrat. Yeah, I would tend to agree with you, but here's rooting for Route 66.
Alrighty, well, looking at the defense for LG as they set up here, and is this going to be a thing, Hex? Looking at it right now, Gods is showing the openings of what could be a defensive Widowmaker. We haven't seen a whole lot of that as of late. LG really being the one team that's really considering staying with Widowmaker, which is interesting given the fact that really historically they didn't have as big of a Widowmaker advantage. So LG perhaps define the meta in more ways than one. We'll see here what it's going to be in a moment, but I do think Gods is going to stay on this Widow, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Defensive Widow will be coming out. Esper on the Mercy, Milo on the Lucio, Enigma on Roadhog, Seagull on Junkrat, and Pooks on Symmetra. And Milo might just be bringing this back out. Should be going back to go on Reinhardt in all likelihood.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic that Luminosity Gaming is bringing back the Widowmaker, which is just, you know, something that they struggled on for weeks until last week when Gods just broke out as Widow and just absolutely owned Frisco in a 1v1 fight. So Gods actually seems very comfortable on Widow, and maybe he's the one to bring it back. Maybe he's the one who's consistently can hit the headshots and make Widow a new thing, again, back into the meta after a brief, you know, 1 day off. We'll see. Offensively, though, it looks like Clockwork might be on this Tracer unless he just feels like lobbying his Tracer. Papa Smurf for sure. will be on Reinhardt. Kozen is going to be playing Lucio. Flame is going to be on Zarya. Pure on that Winston for initiation. Steel following up with Reaper. Clockwork is for the moment on Tracer. He'll either be on that or McCree. I would love to see him on Tracer. He's going to stick with it.
No, Tracer play, I still think Tracer is chronically underplayed right now in the comp scene on a whole lot of maps. Seagull, though, immediately takes out Flame. Flame was not watching where he's going. Ate some bombs there. I think God's actually had a big part of that as well. I think it was a headshot followed by a Junkrat bomb. So God's striking blood early on here and showing that, you know what, Widow is still pretty good in the right hands.
Yeah, I mean, already getting kind of stalled out here. Just even past the first point, they get kind of tickled by this the sentry gun from Symmetra, already at 36% before she's able to drop the teleporter. Some interesting sentry placements here. Trying to take off this flank that almost no one takes in competitive. Okay.
Yeah, and right now Splyce really taking their time, not being super aggressive at the moment. Waiting for an opportunity as God's now just able to take shot after shot, looking for a headshot. If he does land a headshot, it's huge. And now will he get Clockwork? No, he's going to get a Winston in his face, has to run for his life instead. As Clockwork was able to melt Seagull as it's going on 65 now in favor of Splyce. And their patience might be paying off as they're slowly picking apart this LG squad. The resurrection will come up. Seagull will be getting back to the fight, but Esper will pay for it with his life. God's over the top, does take out Pure, but very much a brawl between both teams here. Seagull is back into the fray, and here comes the tire. Seagull usually does get pretty big value tires, ends up taking out Clockwork, but he takes himself out in the process. Overall, though, not the worst here from Splyce, as they are still on the point.
One of the problems is, though, is that Pure is dead in this fight, so no one has any of the tools to be able to oppose Gods right now, who is just taking pot shots at the team.
We have to stop them.
And that's the problem when you're not running Widow on your own and you don't have a Winston to leap in there because Winston is dead. You can't really deal with the Widow as Seagull now on the Reaper of all things, no longer on the Trash Mouse, coming over and taking out Flame.
Never not funny. Trash Mouse will always make me laugh. So it looked good for him for a while, but I think, you know, Pure dying, they just don't have the answer for Gods. He was able to kind of crouch back, hide in that teleporter. They tried to spam him out, but even Zarya bombs were just missing. They do have all their ultimates to be able to push on this next time, does Splyce on offense.
Flame has been pretty good in the Gravitons here today. He's definitely looking for it. Sound barrier is out. The offense, all their chips here on the table. Flame still holding on to the Graviton, looking for his opportunity. The defense, though, striking right back as God's taking out Flame. And this is rough. Pure going to get sniped out of the sky. God's on the double kill. And the Widow is honestly a pretty big problem here for the offense. They're not really getting on her all that effectively. They can throw a Winston at her, but I'm not sure if that's enough.
He juked the hell out of Pure. Pure jumped up, so Gods leapt off the platform, and then Pure chased up the platform, but Gods re-grappled up there. So he waited for his cooldown, then Pure was down there waiting for his jump to come back up. By the time that happened, Gods had already gotten a kill, and then took Pure out on a second jump.
Still coming up, the Death Blossom does pick up two. LG striking right back with two of their own. Note that Gods is still alive here. No one is on him. He's able to lay some shots into Lucio. Lucio has to run for his life. And here's the thing with Widow. Even when Widow isn't getting the kills, they're still forcing people out of sight lines. And Kozen going to go down in the end anyways.
I mean, yeah, here it is. They had to have another answer for Gods rather than just Pure. Clockwork comes up on Widow. They've identified the problem. Now it's just about solving it.
All right, so the defense now, ultimate-wise, are pretty good. They have the Earth Shatter from Milo. Seagull has the Death Blossom at the ready as Gods takes out Flame, and his headshots on the Zarya have been sublime. And with no Zarya, this offense for Splyce is just cut off at the knees.
Yeah, I think they're still going to try to get a little poke in here. Clockwork is, I think, probably going to look for a grapple shot. Maybe he can take down Gods before the next fight begins is what they really need to happen. Goes for it. Misses.
And Clockwork trying to do something here to deal with the defensive Widow. The Earth Shatter is going to come down from Papa Smurf. Seagull, though, firing right back with the Death Blossom. Takes out Steel. Gonna have to Wraith for him back away. And meanwhile, Gods is knocked back down onto the ground. Going full SMG. Going over the top. Will he land the shot? Does shoot the Lucio. Doesn't kill him. Now looking for Clockwork. Looking for Pure as well. And here's a testimony to the effectiveness of Widow here. He forced out a Widow from the other team, which is what we saw meta-wise all throughout everything prior to the last change, or balance patch. So,
yep.
I do wonder if Widow is just going to come right back, as we've seen her before.
I think so too. I think people just aren't as comfortable on her, except Gods apparentally was super comfortable on her. He's forcing it. I think Widow forces the team to make a lot of hard decisions. Now they have to run Pure on McCree too.
Alright, here we go. The last gasp coming out for Splyce. Splyce getting onto the point, at least wanting to take this point if they can, but Gods over the top was able to take out Steel. Takes out Clockwork, the double kill here for Gods. Widowmaker coming back in full force, and LG going to book their way into the grand finals here in the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly NA Cup.
I just love that LG, who traditionally struggled in the Widow meta until like last week, is bringing it back. Bringing back the Widow, because Gods is crushing it.
Heroes never die.
So, res coming from Esper. Esper keeping Gods nice and safe in that play of the game.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this a little bit yesterday too, just about the Widow, is you don't even have to be good on it. It's the nature of the hero, the potential of the hero forces a response at some point, unless you're missing every single shot. It does change the way the other team has to play.
Also, as a note, for those who are wondering what is going to be coming up next, it's going to be LG against the winner of Sodipop versus One Sun. And One Sun, I'm trying to, is that a Chinese team? They all have the Chinese flag on their GosuGamers profiles here. I mean, maybe?
Well, they only have a global ranking. The global ranking is 35, so they don't have a North American ranking either.
That would be, I didn't even realize we had cross-region play going on. We'll have to dig a little bit deeper than that to see what's going on. But they are, Sodipop, I do recognize a lot of people on their team, in particular Grim Reality, who I can say for sure is definitely a very, very good hit scan player. I would put him up there with some of the better hit scan players in the game. So if Sodipop gets through that, would not be all that surprised.
Yeah, I think, though, One Sun is up 1-0, though. They're very closely ranked. They're number 34 and 35 in our GosuGamers global rankings, which you can check out at GosuGamers.net, of course, along with VODs, match tickers, everything you'd want on GosuGamers.net. So we're just waiting for the results of that, and then the winner gets to, the privilege of facing off against Luminosity Gaming.